back to my YouTube channel. Welcome back to my live stream. This is... Hold on. Alright. Sorry about that. I have to make sure this is working. Testing this thing on. Welcome back to my gameplay. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, my live stream. Welcome back to another Raw review of WWE. This is Jacob Cass 2024. Gonna do my Monday Night Raw review. This is the Fallout show for Money in the Bank. This will be an hour and 10-minute live stream. Make sure you guys hit that like button, leave a comment, please subscribe to my channel. Let me know in the comments if you want to see more. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. My video is sponsored by PlayStation. It's sponsored by my favorite podcasters in the IWC. Solomon, JD from New York, Denise Salcedo, Just Elliott, No DQ, Post Wrestling, Fightful Pro Wrestling. Now, we are going to talk about what happened here. Hold on. Just want to make sure that this is going to stay recorded. Now, these were the matches that I can find, unless that we have more matches here. Now, I am going to talk about Monday Night Raw. If you haven't seen my live stream of Money in the Bank, please go back and watch it. It got a lot of views, it got a lot of likes, a lot of love. I did a pretty good job. The pay-per-view were decent. World Collide was a very good show. Now, I am making a video. I'm pretty sure why it's like almost over. I think we're at the main event of Gunther and Jey Uso. I think the biggest thing to really talk about, I probably gotta wait until the main event is over. But well, the biggest thing that opened the show was John Cena and CM Punk. Face to face, that kicked off the show. CM Punk challenged John Cena for the WWE Championship at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. And then we got the return of Bayley. She went after Becky Lynch, who just won the Women's Intercontinental title. So I guess he's doing a review on live right now. Bayley's involved. We got the King of the Ring qualifying matches. Tournament. And then the Queen of the Ring tournament. Roxanne Perez, she qualified. And then Sami Zayn qualified. Advanced to the tournament. I keep saying qualified, but it King of the Ring tournament. Tournament just begun. It's only a 3-week build until Night of Champions, because on June 28th. We actually had a backstage segment with A-Town Down Under. Arthur and Grayson Waller were fighting backstage, so I guess they're going to break them up. We had the return of Nikki Bella. She bumps into Io Sky. We had R-Truth. He now changed his name. He going to use his real name, Ron Killings. He cut his hair. Now we're going to a real name, Ron Killings. There's a lot of tension with Judgment Day and Roxanne and Liv. Hold on. Let me know if y'all can hear this. If y'all can hear my commentary. Hold on, I want to show some of the podcasters.
No, not the power bomb. Stacks him up. Jey still has some life. Now Gunther perhaps starting to get frustrated. He knows he's got a lame duck in the ring with him, but he simply cannot put him to the sword.
Yeah, valiant champion Jey Uso able to kick out of that power bomb despite the injured midsection. Gunther though realizes Uso's
alright, it's taking a bit for Jey to get up.
Alright, so I actually want to talk about, I probably should have talked about this on Saturday, the news and rumors in WWE here. Hopefully I can find them, and I'll get back to Monday Night Raw review. Yeah, so we won't know if Goldberg gonna really show up. if we're going to get Roman Reigns, I don't think we'll get CM Punk. I do have a lot to talk about that, but I just want to wait till the main event's over so I can see what happened. Because right now, Monday Night Raw still on. I think it's almost over. We are at the main event with Gunther and Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight Championship. Are we going to see Seth Rollins cash in? Who's going to screw him over? Are we going to see Goldberg come out? I won't know. It's not showing enough news and rumors here. They're AAA. R-Truth return, change plans. R-Truth makes a shocking return. He back thanks to the fan. Triple H is a liar. This is not a work, it's a shoot. Because of all the fans, of all the backlash and the criticism and the reaction from fans, people in the company, even wrestlers. Alright, I might about to have to show some of these. Hold on. These shows almost be over.
Closest you'll ever get to a scream from Jey Uso, involuntary. An outlet for this massive amount of pain, and oh my God, the hooks are in cold.
Yeah, the constrictor-like maneuver here by Gunther. Sweep. Now he just puts the full weight of his body on top of Uso. Look at how the arm is slipped underneath the
Jey
chin into
make
a
it.
choke as Jey now tries to make it to the bottom rope. That would force a break. Can Jey hang on? Can Jey Uso hang on? Gunther drags him back to the middle of the ring. Gunther with a sleeper still applied.
He's up. Again, no way out of this perhaps for Jey. He's desperately scrambling with everything he's got. Gunther, Gunther gets on there.
Yeah, but Gunther pulled him back to the center of the ring.
He didn't have a good grip on that rope. Certainly not good enough to break that hold.
Oh! Drags Uso back down to the ring. Jey Uso, center of the ring, could be fading. Gunther's got his entire weight wrapped around the body of Jey Uso. Jey trying to fight back. The champion trying to stay in this.
This audience willing Jey back into this. Do something, please.
Jey Uso trying to
He's
fight
out!
his eyes. Looks like they're beginning to roll to the back of his head. Jey, does he have some fight left? Jey trying to stay in this. Jey trying to fight back. Jey trying to make it to the ropes.
All the while, that carotid artery is being squeezed shut.
Back to a vertical base.
Oh.
But Gunther
Oh, that's it.
back down to the mat again.
Oh, my God.
Could be the last gasp for the World Heavyweight Champion. Can Jey stay in it?
Fading rapidly, the eyes of Jey. Oh,
Yeah, but how smart is Gunther?
oh my God.
Oh
my God.
With an opportunity. Somehow staying in this.
I don't know how.
Oh,
Uso's
my
got
God.
Power left in those limbs.
All out of trouble.
Oh, my God, no way.
Shades of WrestleMania. Shades of WrestleMania. Will the ring general tap? Will Uso retain here? Is Gunther going to tap out
Don't,
again?
no, not again,
Gunther
Gunther.
is way out of there again. Gunther able to slip underneath, and now the well-placed elbows to Uso. And now Gunther
Another one.
wraps it in. And Gunther now wrapped around the body of the champion. Does Jey have anything left? Anything left?
So much taken out of Jey. The eyes
Oh.
slowly faded now. Must be a million miles away from those ropes. There's no fight left, Cole.
Jey has nothing left in him, and it doesn't appear. Trying to somehow slip out of this sleeper.
He's out. He's out. Oh my God, he's out.
Jey Uso is out, I believe. He is out.
Oh my God.
The new world champion. Here is your winner.
I didn't think they were gonna do this.
Well, the expression on the face of the world champion says it all. Fight with a very game and valiant, courageous Jey Uso.
Are we getting a cash in?
Gunther is once again, for the second time in his career.
I don't know. I feel like we are getting a Seth cash in or something.
Just done too much over the last couple of months. He's been one hell of a champion. But I'll tell you, I don't care how good you are in this game, even the very best taken out occasionally. But the greats, they come back and they avenge their losses with whatever it takes. And it took everything but the kitchen sink from Gunther tonight to prize Jey Uso's grip of the World Heavyweight Championship. You do question what kind of fight would it be had Jey Uso really been rested at 100%.
Trying to show you the reaction.
This was about the big one. This was about the goal. This was about the World Heavyweight Championship.
Hell of a match, hell of a show. And a world title change on an episode that was
Gunther, who prides himself in always
unreal. Oh, that's a painful image.
and his son there at ringside.
Clean. Clean.
It is once
There was no
again
screwing
No
it.
shenanigans.
I know, right?
Just clean.
Gunther is once again World Heavyweight Champion.
I don't know why.
No Seth Rollins, nothing. Just a straight up clean W. What the hell? I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the question: is Jey injured? Like, it's the first thing that I'm asking. Unreal.
I am shocked. I am surprised that Jey Uso just won it. I'm watching Raw right now. Jey Uso lost. Gunther won clean. I didn't see no interference.
Can't believe it. I can't believe it. Wow.
There was no Goldberg. We didn't see Seth Rollins. We didn't see Roman Reigns. No one got involved. No one got involved in this match.
As frequent, but if they announce a title match, that title could change that.
That's cool.
Even me, that
They announced that Asuka returns next week. Asuka coming back from injury pretty soon. So Gunther just won the world title back.
I just don't know if that's legitimate, especially given that, Jey Uso is making the company a lot of money with his stuff and his merch and all of that. I don't think I don't think so, but damn. Sin City Saint, thank you so much for the super chat. We got Rubes M here who says that he overdid the E entrance. Tony says, who knows?
A lot of people are shocked that Gunther won. Seth Rollins didn't cash in, so Seth Rollins is an idiot. We don't know what's going on. Apparently WWE is changing the storyline. Seth Rollins teased the cash in earlier with John Cena and CM Punk. Is Seth Rollins going to try to cash in on CM Punk or John Cena? Okay, that makes no sense. Seth Rollins, there's no way he's going to be on SmackDown. He's not going to cash in on John Cena. Maybe if CM Punk win, but that's not going to happen. Punk's not winning the title at Saudi Arabia. And Seth Rollins, how come we didn't tease it? We won't know what's going on. We honestly don't know what is going on or what is happening. But Rollins didn't even tease a cash in. There was no Roman Reigns. We didn't see Goldberg come out. So we don't know what's going on with the creative. What is Triple H or TKO even doing? If Gunther's the world champion, are we really looking at Bill Goldberg and Gunther? Because you know that's gonna happen. Who's Gunther gonna feud with? Jay's just lost clean, so Jay's not getting a rematch. And Rollins, he can cast in any time. And if he does cast in, that's an automatic waste. I don't know how long are we gonna wait for Rollins to cast in. Maybe till SummerSlam. I think it has to be. It's not gonna be on a random walk, because that doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I'm a little worried now that we might get Goldberg and Gunther for the world title. And people are going to be complaining and bitching that, again, we got Bill Goldberg going after another world championship. One, fuck Bill Goldberg. He had no business in the ring. No one to see Goldberg fight for a world title. But we didn't see Goldberg tonight, so we don't know what's going on. I honestly don't know what are they doing here. I think all that you'll remember that John Cena and CM Punk they're going to face off at Night of Champions. I don't know why there wasn't Cena and Punk in Saudi Arabia. I mean, R-Truth came back. He screwed over John Cena. Cody Rhodes pinned John Cena at Money in the Bank. So, what are we doing with Cody Rhodes? What are we doing with R-Truth? Why are we wasting John Cena and CM Punk at Night of Champions already in like 3 weeks? John Cena still got 19 days left, so we don't know what's going on. Gunther won the world title. He won clean. Seth did not tease a cast-in. There was no Roman Reigns. So it looks like that Seth is not going to feud with CM Punk, and Punk's not going to feud with John Cena for a bit. So we don't know when the Roman Reigns going to come back. What is Seth going to do? We saw LA Knight. He actually caught Braun Breaker. He caught Braun Breaker, the King of the Ring tournament, after what we saw on SmackDown, what we saw at the pay-per-view. Maybe we could see Seth on SmackDown, but that makes no sense. Seth is a member of Monday Night Raw. Why is he going to be on SmackDown? He's not catching on John Cena. Punk's not winning the title. And I don't think Seth is going to cast in on Gunther after he just won it. That makes no sense. So Seth might have the contract for a while, and I don't know why. But whenever we see Roman Reigns come back, Seth Rollins is losing that briefcase. He's losing the briefcase. He is. Seth Rollins is losing the briefcase. He is. It might be a SummerSlam, but I mean, unless we're gonna get Goldberg, I hope we don't get Goldberg at SummerSlam. And I don't see Seth catching at that. They might do Bill Goldberg and Gunther at Saturday Night Main Event. Because, well, that does make sense. It'll be a Saturday Night Main Event in Atlanta, Georgia, which is Goldberg's hometown. I mean, Goldberg lives there, so that's where they might get the match. And you know Gunther's gonna win clean. The match might go like, 5 minutes? So who is Gunther gonna face at SummerSlam then? Because we're all a little bit worried on who exactly is he gonna face. I don't know what Triple H think. Do they really think that Gunther and Goldberg need to be for the world title? And the match is gonna be way too predictable. Because no one expects Gunther to lose the bill. Goldberg's not winning the title. Goldberg's a part-time. He's in the mid-50s. He can't wrestle. He's old, past his prime. He had no business going after titles. But that's what they might do. Now, I actually want you guys to listen to some of the podcasters in the IWC, like Denise Salcedo. Hopefully I can let y'all hear Salamander, JD from New York, and Good My Work commentary. But yeah, like
Driver finisher says Jay ain't that guy. Zay Cruz says it's better for when Seth cashes in. It ain't Jay. Don the Visionary says that was an ending to say the least. Lee said he only had 2 successful title defenses. Dino VFR says wild that they took the belt off of him. Infamous DJ1 says good night everyone, solid raw. Also guys, I will be joined by Santi in just a couple of minutes and we will be discussing this a lot for now and forever. DJ, you're still gonna get the yeet, trust me, you're still gonna get it. You can't escape it, bro. The yeet movement is everywhere. Alright, let me catch up with some more comments. I'm still waiting for Santi, so give him some time. I usually stall until he gets here. We got Brandon here who says same thing, cashing in on Gunther as long as he's upright. No, I think Seth will probably cash in on Gunther. That's the only explanation I feel right now when it comes to why they took the title off of Jay. All right, and Maui also had a similar comment as to what Sin City Saint had earlier, which is Maui saying Jay lost because they brought truth back. They couldn't let us win 2 nice things. Damn, we can't have nice things, guys. We just can't have nice things. But let me
alright, let's go into the other podcaster, No DQ. I know a lot of people are surprised that ending happened.
energy saving a sideshow comedian whose greatest achievement was pretending to be him, in reference to the fans chanting for R-Truth and having R-Truth come back to WWE. Cena called the fans spineless keyboard warriors, said they really don't have any power to change anything, and a year from now, they won't even care about R-Truth. Cena said, you don't use your voice to send in a class clown. You use your voice to send
performers. Good. Matches. Fun. Love watching Braun Breaker do crazy stuff. Lazy ass booking. Real lazy booking. Okay, we complaining about what exactly? Are you listening? Experience and ignorance show. Maybe you should eliminate experience from your title. What are we complaining about exactly? Well, I am complaining about the fact that WWE could have had a very compelling tournament. They could have even had a 4-way play-in, for the love of God. But instead what they did was they were like, you know what? You know what we should do? We should do like 8 fatal 4-way matches over the next couple of weeks. And then put interference in almost all of them. My God, what are we complaining about exactly? Lame, lazy booking. That's what we're complaining about.
I'm still going to give him some time to hop into the stream. But in the meantime, I'm going to go through some more of everyone's comments and see what everyone is saying about basically what went down here. I really thought that our biggest story that we were going to talk about today was John Cena and CM Punk, and now that feels like a background story, which is kind of nuts because that's a pretty big story too, but that's where we're at. Anthony Giuliano says, I think R-Truth will be WWE champion soon. I don't know. I mean, obviously, you know, he's more over than he's ever been after everything that took place today. It's a possibility we could see Ron Killings, win the championship. I could actually see him winning more so the Intercontinental Championship. I can see that happening. We got Livin' Rocks here who says John Cena loses to Stabs cashing in at night. Okay, so Livin' Rocks predicts John Cena loses to Stabs cashing in at Night of Champions. WWE title comes to Raw where it should be. The number 1 title, the number 1 show. Gunther moves to SmackDown. Let's see how this goes. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't see Seth Rollins cashing in on John Cena. I think that story is for Cody Rhodes to finish. Another story for Cody Rhodes to finish because Cody Rhodes is going to need his redemption, and that's why I do not see. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I don't see this outcome happening because again, I think that's for Cody to do. Thank you, Livin' Rocks. We got Sin City Stain who says, "Mom, Denise said I need to get Blue Chew. Can I use your credit card?"
Yeah, so we don't know what they're gonna do. We don't know what is going to happen. I actually don't know. I don't know what their plans are, what can happen. If Goldberg comes back, there is no reason to have Goldberg in a championship match. Liv Morgan, oh yeah, it was yesterday. But there is no reason for Bill Goldberg to be going after a world championship. That is the only explanation that I can actually think of. Who the hell wants to see Goldberg again, John, for a world title? Who asked for that? Who in the hell asked for that? Hold on. Liv Morgan originally attacked Nikki Bella. Don't know why. That gonna lead to Evolution? Just to get an excuse of why Nikki Bella should be on that show? I really don't give a shit because who wants to see why should Nikki Bella be in the ring? I'm more interested in Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez. Alright, let's go back to Denise and Shanti. Or Santi.
Psychiatry together, that was a game changer. Like the therapy with the meds and just create that kind of holistic.
Alright.
It's a lot sometimes. You make sure to try to tackle everything always try my best to get, the live streams and everything. Hold on one second, guys. Santi just sent me a message. Okay. All right. So
We could do Sami Zayn versus Gunther, even though we saw the match before. We actually saw it a couple of times. What do we have Seth Rollins casting at SummerSlam? When exactly do we get Roman Reigns? Honestly, I don't know. When the hell do we get Roman Reigns? I mean, I think the plan should be Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns at SummerSlam. When exactly does Reigns come back? Or is he gonna come back at all? We honestly don't know.
So, I'm probably going to have to get started without Santi. Like, okay, what am I going to pick? But, yeah, I felt really good about everything that came through here today. Thank you so much, Rahul. We got Letter Jeans here who says Gunther champ and now Kenny Omega rumored to WWE. I don't believe in that rumor. I haven't even seen that from, anybody credible. So I can't comment on that any further until I actually see where that's coming from. Thank you so much, Ladder Jeans. We got Nick Grasso here who says possible storyline: Sami wins King of the Ring, beats Gunther at SummerSlam. Let me reread that. It says possible storyline: Sami wins King of the Ring, beats Gunther at SummerSlam. Seth cashes in. Sami chooses Seth to WrestleMania 42 to get his moment. Let me look at that. So Sami winning, it could happen. He qualified here today. And then Seth cashing in, beats Gunther. That would be cool. He's beaten Gunther in the past for the Intercontinental Championship, so it's not out of the realm of possibility. And then Seth cash in on Sami. There's some things about this that I can see playing out, Nick. Okay, not too bad. Thank you, Nick.
It is a possibility, because I don't know who's gonna win King of the Ring. If it's not LA Knight, well, if he's not in King of the Ring, if he loses, then it has to be Sami Zayn. CM Punk's not in King of the Ring, because I don't think he needs it. He's already getting this match with John Cena. There wasn't this feud. I don't know why. It feels worse. Now, who is John Cena gonna face at SummerSlam? Is it gonna be Cody Rhodes again, or R-Truth? R-Truth is on SmackDown. Why is he coming to Raw? I hope this is a one-off and he's gonna go to SmackDown. Because what's he gonna do on SmackDown? What's Cody Rhodes gonna do on SmackDown? Because if Cody Rhodes is not gonna be feuding with John Cena gonna feud with Punk, then who is Cody Rhodes gonna feud with? R-Truth? Drew McIntyre taking off TV, so what exactly is Cody Rhodes gonna do? Why are we changing the storyline? It makes no sense. Everything feels like was. Punk and Cena, it was. Should be a SummerSlam. But I guess they are going to do Cena and Cody. Maybe R-Truth, maybe a triple threat match. Sami Zayn could win it, because they have been telling the storyline with Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. It does look like if Sami Zayn wins, he could face Gunther, obviously. And he could beat Gunther, and then Seth could cast in, take away his moment. They could rehash the storyline that they did with Daniel Bryan, when Daniel Bryan had everything, had his moment, and had it taken away from him by the Authority. We could do that here with Seth Rollins and Fashion, who, by the way, they don't have a name, but we could do that. Sami Zayn could beat Gunther. He beat Gunther before. And if he beat Gunther, maybe Seth could cast in. Honestly, we don't know. And maybe Sami could have to fight Seth Fashion, and Sami could win the Rumble and get a real moment at WrestleMania, where he finally won the world title. That could be what we're leading to. Honestly, we don't know. We still haven't seen Roman Reigns. I said it before, I'm saying it again. Every week that Seth Rollins had the briefcase, whenever Reigns comes back, it only makes sense for him to screw Seth Rollins and take away his briefcase. And then they're going to feud at SummerSlam, because what exactly are we doing with Roman Reigns? When is he going to come back? Why is he still on his annual vacation? We don't know when Goldberg's going to come back. Maybe after Saudi, because that's when we got Saturday Night Main Event on, I think, July 12. Yeah, I think July 12, Saturday Night Main Event. That's when we might get Goldberg and Gunther. I hope it's not SummerSlam, because that's a waste. It had to be Saturday Night Main Event in Atlanta, Georgia, in Goldberg's hometown. It can't be a SummerSlam, because if Sami Zayn wins King of the Ring, he's going to face Gunther. It's not going to be John Cena, it's going to be Gunther. So maybe they might do Gunther and Goldberg for the world title at Saturday Night Main Event, even though no one wants it, no one wants to see it. No one cares about Goldberg going after a world championship match again because it's the same old shit. But if it can be a one-off and Goldberg gonna lose and retire for good, okay, fine. I'm all for it. And then Gunther can put up with Sami Zayn, and Sami Zayn gets a moment, and we have that storyline. I'm all for it, because I love Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is awesome. Sami Zayn is ready to be a world champion. He should be in the main event scene. They were telling the story with Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn a couple of weeks ago. So it is a possibility, and I'll be okay with that. We'll have to wait and see what happens.
Sucho here who says LA Knight on Raw, draft soon, Knight on Raw, LA Knight World Heavyweight Championship soon, trust that Sucho. Well, we did see LA Knight today take out Braun Breaker of all people, so now he's going to really have a problem with Seth's guys, with Braun and Seth and Bronson. So he's picked a battle with three guys there that are kind of a big deal there. So
Hey.
yeah. Thank you, Sucho. We got Saif Did Super here who says, I thought Jay had a better reign than Gunther. Triple H needs to stay off Twitter all day and stop listening to these losers. He's so boring. So look, Gunther's reign was also like not a that.
I don't know why. How did Jay have a better reign than Gunther? First of all, Jay was a transitional champion. He only had it for like what, 2 months? He won the title at WrestleMania, very controversial, and then how he tapped on Gunther in like 2 seconds. He wrestled Logan Paul. He teamed up with Cody Rhodes to beat John Cena and Logan Paul, and that was practically it. There was nothing about his title reign. It was just about the moment he finally became world champion, and he got his moment. He celebrated with his brother, and that was it. And then they put it back on Gunther. I guess they think Gunther and Goldberg need to be for the title. And maybe they have planned for Sami Zayn to win the world title, hopefully. Because I don't know who's gonna win. I don't know who's gonna win King of the Ring on Raw. I think Sami Zayn had to. Because Braun Breaker got screwed over because of LA Knight. Bronson Reed's not in it. I don't think Bronson Reed's ready for a world title. He's not gonna face Gunther. I don't think people are ready to cheer for Bronson Reed since he's a heel and he's in his fashion. So I think Sami Zayn had to qualify. It had to be Sami Zayn. If not, then LA Knight, if he's in it, he can qualify. I don't want to see Cody Rhodes qualify because Cody Rhodes doesn't need. He's going to be in the title match with Cena regardless. So give it to someone new. Either Sami Zayn or LA Knight.
Either. It wasn't great. It wasn't anything like his Intercontinental Championship reign, but his reign was a lot longer than Jay's. So like you can't really. I think.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Gunther had a longer title reign. He had the belt since SummerSlam. He had some pretty good feud with Orton and Damian and Sammy and Balor, and he had a decent feud with Jey Uso. So I don't know what the hell these geeks are talking about here. Gunther had a longer title reign, had a much better title reign. Jay was a transitional thing.
Gunther's reign was still better than Jay's because it just had more time and a little bit more matches than what Jay had. So that's where I'm at with that. So I don't think that Jay's reign was better. I don't know why they did it, guys. I'm telling you, there's only one reason, and I think it's because of Seth Rollins, and I think that they want him to cash in on Gunther and not Jey Uso. But that's where we're at with that.
That's not gonna happen. There is no way that Gunther is gonna be pinned by Seth Rollins. No way. Unless if he cashes in and makes it a triple threat match, Gunther should not be pinned or submitted. And Seth is a heel, Gunther's a heel. That's not happening. Gunther's not being pinned again. And Gunther shouldn't be a transitional champion. No one wants to see that. So no. Seth Rollins is gonna get screwed by Roman Reigns. Whenever Roman Reigns comes back from his annual vacation with his family, Reigns is gonna come out, he's gonna screw Seth Rollins, and they're gonna have a match at SummerSlam.
Alright, thank you so much, Saeed. That's super. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start the post show. And then once I feel like when Jay won, we knew he was gonna win at WrestleMania, but it was more so when he won at Royal Rumble. When he won at Royal Rumble, everybody was thinking WTF. We all thought John Cena was gonna win that. I didn't have Jey Uso winning that match. The Hispanic.
Alright, now let's go on to the other podcasters. Let's go on to Just Alice. We got Good Mind Work commentary.
Week long, the last probably 2 or 3 podcasts that we've had where we've discussed this match, we've all kind of had the same idea. We're hearing the rumors of Goldberg having a retirement match this summer, and now we've got it narrowed down even more where we've recently heard that it's likely set for the Saturday night's main event on All In Weekend in Georgia. They've already previously set up stuff on TV with Gunther months ago. So it felt like whenever we did get that final match of Goldberg, it would be against Gunther. So a lot of us were expecting Goldberg to interfere tonight or play a role in the finish that would lead to that Gunther and Goldberg match. But I had put on social media right in the middle of the match, I'm like, for even with what they've previously set up with Gunther and Goldberg, it would be weird if he just randomly showed up here, unprovoked in the middle of a championship match. Like if his music hit in the middle of the match and he just came out and he distracted Gunther and then Jay got the pin on him, that would be an incredibly lazy way to bring him in and book his retirement match. So the fact that we got a straight-up match here with no interference, and it started becoming clear to me at the end of the match, near the end of the match in the main event tonight, when Gunther had Jay in that sleeper, in the choke, right in the middle of the ring. And I'm like, how is he going to get out of this? It doesn't look like this is escapable. As I always have to deal with Tito right in the beginning of my podcast, every time. Anyway, I was wondering, I'm like, how is he going to get out of this? It doesn't seem like he's going to be able to. And then he kind of escaped it. Gunther locked it back on. He escaped it again. And I'm like, okay, I guess they're just going to have Jay fight out of this. But then eventually Gunther locked it on for a final time. He's right there in the middle. Jay is fading. And I'm like, I don't know what kind of Super Cena or superhero Hogan shit they could do here with Jay to make him get out of this. But it does not look like he's going to escape this sleeper. And he did not. And he went out. Referee called for the bell. And Gunther is the new World Heavyweight Champion. So many questions leap to mind. Number one, why the hell did they even put the belt on Jay to begin with? I mean, I'm glad he got the run. I'm glad main event Jay finally became a world champion. But, that was pretty short-lived, and especially to drop it right back to the person he beat at WrestleMania, you don't see that very often. Try to think through history. I'm sure it's probably happened. But who has lost the championship at WrestleMania only to win it back from that same person a couple of months later? Have they ever done that?
A couple of people.
Pretty surprising. So the only thing I can think of is that perhaps Gunther won the championship here because the match he's going to do with Goldberg is going to be a title versus career. Maybe they feel like I don't want to see Goldberg at all, but if they're going to bring him back in, like obviously they are, to have that retirement match, maybe they feel that Goldberg should be in a match that's just a little bit bigger than a grudge match. Like he should go after the championship. I want to do what John Cena's doing. I want to retire as a champion. And so he's going to face Gunther, and if he wins, he retires as champion. And if he doesn't, he retires anyway. Or they could do title versus career and not bill it as Goldberg's retirement match, but bill it as Goldberg's possible retirement match. And we just got to suppress those memories of the match with The Fiend, in Saudi Arabia, and the couple of times that Goldberg won that title that was just unbelievably frustrating. And maybe that's what they want. They want it to be a championship match for Goldberg. And when he loses, that will be it. He will be going down swinging. He will be going down fighting for one of the business's top prizes.
Alright, hold on. I can show y'all Salamander.
Gonna happen. But in the end, they gave us a clean finish. Jey Uso, he just couldn't get the job done. He could not get the job done. This is a man who went in there and lost 3 straight times to Gunther going back to last year. And he only won at WrestleMania. That was his first win over Gunther at WrestleMania. But he went right back to the same Jey Uso he was before, where he could not get the job done. And he was protected by the bad ribs. This is not the end of Jey Uso, but it's the end of Jey Uso as the World Heavyweight Champion for the time being. Jey Uso had a lot of momentum going into WrestleMania. Jey Uso hit on something with this yeet stuff, and they love the visual of the reaction when he comes out. The entire building and all the little kids are going up and down. Michael Cole is bobbing up and down. Everybody's having a good old time. Off his waist. And they took it away from him even earlier than I thought. But you can't say that you're surprised that he had such
LA Knight fan, because I think people have been also wondering, hey, what is next for LA Knight after he didn't win the Money in the Bank again for a third time in a row, and even in LA he couldn't win the Money in the Bank. So at this point, I think that Money in the Bank ship sailed for LA Knight, unfortunately. So now people have been wondering what
beginning of August. He just won the championship back. I don't know what he's going to be doing at Night of Champions at the end of the month. It almost doesn't even matter because he's at least making it to SummerSlam with the championship. And then I notice also that in the King of the Ring tournament this year, and I will show you the brackets. We're going to go through all of this. We have a lot to get into here, but I will show you visually what the brackets look like and who won their matches tonight on the men's side and the women's side. But there is one person who won his match tonight who very well may go on to win King of the Ring, and his name is Sami Zayn. And I think that based on what we saw at the end of the show tonight, his chances of walking out of Saudi Arabia, because that's where the finals are going to be, just went up exponentially. I think I see the vision. I could be way off here. There are people who think that Seth Rollins is going to cash in, maybe for the WWE Championship, and I find that hard to believe. It's possible. I could be way off here. But I think I see the vision. And I think that vision involves Gunther, and I think it involves Sami Zayn. I think it involves SummerSlam and a longer-term story that very much is going to possibly mirror the story they told in 2013 with Daniel Bryan. I think that is what we may be in for. And if we...
Exactly. That's what I just said. I think they're going to rehab what they told with Daniel Bryan this time with Sami Zayn. With Sami Zayn going to find his way, going to earn his opportunity at SummerSlam, he might get screwed by Seth Rollins in his fashion. They might take away a moment, and then they might tell that story. It might lead to Sami Zayn winning, having to fight after getting screwed over so many times. He could win the Rumble because it's in Saudi Arabia. He could main event WrestleMania against Seth Rollins, and it could lead to Sami Zayn getting the big moment. So this is clearly long-term storytelling. It has to be long-term storytelling. I think that's what it's going to lead to.
I can get behind that story.
Me too. I love Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's my favorite. He deserved it. He deserved to be world champion. He's ready for the main event scene after all the great work that he's done, the great work that they did with Gunther last year at WrestleMania, the work he did with the Bloodline and with Kevin Owens and Jey Uso. Sami Zayn is more deserving to be world champion. It has to be. Now, it's something that WWE does, having rehab storyline from decades ago. Now, that means Sami Zayn could be the underdog. Do I think an underdog? I would have to debate on that, whether I think Daniel Bryan is the only underdog that you'll see. But Sami Zayn, after everything that he's been through,
may actually be the Sami Zayn story. Not the Jey Uso story or the Seth Rollins story or the Gunther story. This may all end up being about Sami Zayn. And I'll get into all that as we go along here. So, to me, a very shocking finish to the show tonight, but in a good way. And then we had the other big announcement of the night. Because I mentioned, the WWE Championship, which is currently held by John Cena. John Cena was on Raw tonight, a rare Raw appearance because we haven't seen him on Raw in a little bit. And he went face-to-face with CM Punk. We got our first real face-off between Cena and Punk for the first time in many, many years. Punk cut that promo on him and that bald fraud, The Rock, after what happened at Elimination Chamber, and we haven't really gotten back to that since then. What came out of their segment tonight is a major match that has since been made official. At the end of this month, in only a few weeks, in Saudi Arabia, John Cena will defend the WWE Championship against CM Punk. So We will talk about what they had to say to each other in that segment and what I think of that announcement. That was a big deal tonight. We had Ron Killings, going by that name now. R-Truth is dead. Long live Ron Killings. He showed up at Money in the Bank. That was a big surprise. Seeing him come out, attack John Cena in the main event, help Cody and Jey Uso win their match. He was on the show tonight. He had some words as well, and also did something that was pretty shocking. We'll talk about what he had to say. We have King and Queen of the Ring brackets to talk about. LA Knight was on the show tonight. I don't know what his future looks like, but at least he was on the show, so it shows they must have some idea for him. I don't have a lot of faith coming out of Money in the Bank at a third straight year of him losing, but he did make an appearance tonight as well. Bayley is back. We have not seen her since before WrestleMania when she got taken out. We found out later on by Becky Lynch. It was only a matter of time before she resurfaced and went after Becky. So we had Bayley back on the show tonight. Nikki Bella, talk about random. It was announced the other day that Nikki Bella would be appearing on Raw. We have not seen Nikki Bella since the Royal Rumble at the beginning of the year. She has an apparent program, an apparent match for the all-women's Evolution show coming up next month. They did a heavy tease for what her match is likely going to be on that show. Overall, I thought this was an excellent, very enjoyable episode of Raw.
Yeah, me too.
One of the things I look for in this show, 2.5 hours every single week, give me a show that could hold my attention from start to finish.
Yeah.
Give me a show that feels like there are things going on.
Yep.
Give me a few really good matches in between.
Yeah.
That's what we had tonight. I thought that both King of the Ring first-round matches tonight were very good. The men's match I thought was excellent. The main event, even, with Gunther and Jey, like, it was slow in parts, but I thought, towards the end, and there were a lot of, he goes for a sleeper, and then he reverses, and, there were probably 15 different sleeper attempts in this match, so you saw a lot of the same moves over and over again. But I just thought in terms of building drama in the match, and then that shocking finish, I even liked the main event. Now, it wasn't the best match in the world or anything like that, but I think they checked all the boxes that I look for when I watched this show. And when it was over, it felt like, man, that was a very newsworthy, very eventful, very fun, top to bottom episode of Raw. So, again, maybe the best of the year. One woman who will not be at Evolution, and I think we already kind of assumed that this was going to be the case, but Zoe Stark, of course, she got hurt many weeks ago. It was a Money in the Bank qualifying match, and severely injured her knee. And we have not had any updates since then, other than she was going to be out for quite a long time. Zoe posted a very short 30-second video, almost like a teaser video, explaining exactly what the injury is. So now we know. Zoe Stark has confirmed that she had surgery to repair a torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus. So, as I feared, it turned out to be the terrible triad, which is not a very fun thing to go through. Some other wrestlers on the roster have gone through that. Charlotte Flair, I think, had the same injury. So she's going to be out for a very long time. So all the best to Zoe Stark, but this is the first that she's actually come out and confirmed what the injury is. This is your Raw on Netflix review and Money in the Bank. So go hit that up on the channel.
You know what's smart? Treating.
Alright, let's go back to the other podcasters.
Eat smart with Factor. I'm Ju.
Alright, hold on.
Founder and CEO of Hero Cosmetics, and I found
Hold on, there's more commercials here.
I was living
To that other side, I want him to stick where he's at because Cody needs to handle his business with John Cena. All right, like that's how I feel about that. And I mean, I don't think CM Punk's gonna be defeating John Cena at Night of Champions, which we still have to get to. I don't think that's happening, and it bums me out. But we'll get to that in a second. We got Sin City Saint here who says Karrion needs to fill that empty spot in King of the Ring to play spoiler for Sammy, right? Maybe. I mean, he's been all up on Sammy's ear saying how, like, he's the manipulator, and he's this, and he's the evil guy, and he's the bad boy, this and that. And it's not making real much sense to me. I don't think his promo's making that much sense to me, but hey, what do I know? Hassan Bala here says, thank you, Sin City Saint. Hassan Bala says, everyone was so focused on Rox replacing Liv, they never suspected she would actually be replacing Raquel. Definitely Thank you, Hassan. We got CJ here who says, can we send Jay back to SmackDown to team back up with his brother? It's okay. Some men are only meant to be tag team wrestlers. The truth will set you free. I feel like he's so far above right now, and I like Jimmy, but he's so far above Jimmy right now. It would really
anymore. It will be interesting to see if the response he gets from the audience over there is any different. I don't think it would be. I don't think CM Punk has any problem with the Saudi Arabian wrestling fans over there, specifically and especially the kids. You know, it's mostly just the government and the royal family and their sketchy ways and just the culture over there in general. You know, he has a problem with, I would think, more than just the little kids who want to watch wrestling. So I think that, you know, his response will probably be somewhat normal. But, you know, in a lot of ways, I mean, he did look a little foolish tonight saying, I'm not standing up for the billionaires while, you know, going to Saudi Arabia at the same time. But what did you want them to do? This had to be addressed somehow. Punk can't suck the words back into his mouth or suck the tweet off the internet. It can't be done. It's been said. So the best you can do now is try to rectify it, walk it back, you know, clean up, if you will, and course correct to get yourself to Saudi. And now that the match is for the championship, I feel like that's done. And the funny thing is, though, during the segment, the match wasn't made. It was so bizarre when Cena laid it all out for Punk. You want this? You got to come to Saudi. Seth Rollins' music hit. And he comes out to the stage there wearing all green. He's got his briefcase. He's got his boys with him. I'm like, oh, this will be interesting. I'm expecting them to come to the ring. So as Seth's music is playing and the fans are singing, they all of a sudden cut to the announce table, and they start running through the card of what we're going to see tonight. And then I think we go to a break. I couldn't tell on Netflix, but I think we go to a break and we come back, and it's AJ Styles versus Chad Gable. I was expecting Rollins to come out to the ring, and then nothing happened. I thought that would have been interesting for Rollins to come there and dangle that briefcase in front of the two of them. Yeah, have your match in Saudi, guys. I'm going to be sitting out there just waiting. You better hope neither one of you get hurt, because if you do, that belt's coming with me. And just tease him, and just fucking laugh and all that. But he didn't even come to the damn ring. So I'm like, what the hell? And, you know, as it relates to Rollins winning the Money in the Bank, like we talked about in the Money in the Bank review, and as I've been thinking about, you know, I thought it was going to be kind of boring if Rollins were to just cash in the briefcase and beat Jey Uso and win the World Heavyweight title. You know, like if he was going to do that, he didn't need the briefcase for that. He could have just gotten the title match at SummerSlam or had Paul Heyman get him a title match, or he could have gotten the title match some other way. Main event victory at WrestleMania. He's got title matches. He has enough on his resume to where he could pretty much be given a title shot at any time. So if he was just going to win the World Heavyweight title, I feel like you're wasting the briefcase. You should give the briefcase to L.A. Knight and then just have Seth win the title if that's the case. But now that Gunther's won it, and I did kind of brainstorm on the podcast on Saturday night or on the Money in the Bank review that could he maybe be going after the second championship or the other championship? I wouldn't hate that. If it was Cody and Cena for the title, you know, Ryan laid out the scenario of Gunther and Sammy at SummerSlam, Sammy winning the title and then Rollins cashing in on Sammy. I would prefer it be the other way, to be honest. I would prefer it be Cody and Cena. Cody cashes in and then Cody wins and then Rollins cashes in on Cody. We still got to get that Cody and Rollins match, like for real, where Rollins beats him, you know, so maybe it's that, could go the other way, but I feel like the fact that Rollins didn't come in and cash in tonight, I feel like that means he's not going to cash in until SummerSlam, not at Night of Champions. He'll probably be out there dangling it, but I don't think he'll cash it in. I think SummerSlam will be where it happens. So maybe he's set to cash in on the other title. Maybe he's set to go to SmackDown. Maybe they're moving some titles around. I don't even know. But I feel like if he just winds up winning the World Heavyweight title, I feel like the briefcase was, for the men anyway, was kind of wasted, and it wasn't really necessary in order for Rollins to attain that championship. With the backup that he has and Paul Heyman by his side, why would you need the green thing to win the title? You should be able to do that. You should be able to do that. But we'll see. We will see. So Rollins wound up coming out, but nothing happened. We got no interaction in the ring, and that was kind of a bummer. First match of the night was, like I said, AJ Styles taking on Chad Gable. This was a fun match. Gable has been very, very busy. Dude is a workhorse, and I even think he's got a banged-up arm that he suffered on Saturday. Styles clashed for the win here, and AJ got the victory. So a lot of losses piling up there for El Gable Americano. Then we have our first of two Fatal 4-Way King of the Ring matches. I thought that was right. I almost second-guessed myself. I thought when I saw the graphics for the King and Queen of the Ring, I'm like, are they doing 4 ways to advance to the semis? And then you have the finals actually at King of the Ring, with the winner of King and Queen of the Ring getting title shots against their brands' respective champions at SummerSlam. So it is.
No, it was definitely a mixed reaction here from the crowd, which could be problematic. We'll see as time goes on. He said,
guy that you don't take seriously, as the guy was just there to give a couple ha-has. No, now he's going to be seen as someone that could, legitimately go after the Intercontinental Championship if he wanted to. You can see that as something more legitimate in his cards now because of the alteration in his character. Thank you, Anthony. We got CJ here who says, don't let them days as champion stats fool you. Us Gunther fans been in the trenches. Triple H fumbled most of his previous reign, and we had to beef Pat. Look, like I said, I really think Gunther is the freaking man. The problem was that it was just running back the Jey Uso stuff way too many times. Killed a lot of momentum for that. Remember when Gunther was feuding with Damian Priest? That Gunther-Damian Priest feud, I liked that feud. Him being such a jerk to Damian Priest, telling them he was street trash and all of the things he said to Damian Priest, it was that Damian Priest-Gunther feud that made me like Damian Priest more coming off of the championship reign than anything else they did with Damian Priest as champion. That was my favorite thing, was the stuff that he did with Gunther. And so Gunther as Intercontinental Champion was the shit. He was the shit. And then they just kind of lost it. They kind of lost it during the actual reign, but for the World Heavyweight Champion. But we'll see what happens. I'm not expecting Gunther to be a long champion after having defeated Jey Uso. I don't expect it that long. We got Uncle Dunk here who says, Triple H! We also got, or maybe not like that. I don't know how you meant it, Gunther. Just H.
Rug. I don't like it. I wish he would have kept his word. He has no other. The bank was pretty. In 25 as the year of Ron Killings. He is now Ron Killings, and what his mission statement is, I don't know. We'll go over what R-Truth said. Ron Killings said tonight, here on the show, he didn't interact with John Cena. He did not get involved in John Cena CM Punk. He did not mention anything about what his mission was, except for the fact that he is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. As WWE then shilled new merchandise on shop.WWE.com. That wasn't the biggest story of the night, though. You would think coming into tonight that would be the biggest story. This was a loaded show.
Yep.
The best Monday Night Raw in months.
Exactly.
Finally, we had some excitement.
Yeah.
On this show. Wins and losses tonight mattered. We got Night of Champions already in the progress of being built with a major main event behind it. John Cena showed up after losing with Logan Paul, who we also did not see tonight. Very weird. John Cena showed up and addressed how he and Logan Paul lost at Money in the Bank to Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso, obviously with R-Truth interjecting himself into the mix and causing Cody and Jey John Cena says he wants some real competition. Everybody that the company has thrown in front of him, he has beaten. There's only one name that has mentioned John Cena more than any other, and that was CM Punk. CM Punk showed up tonight and met John Cena face to face. Now, I do have some questions, because it's not like WWE has no other road to get back to Punk and Rollins. Hopefully this is a very calculated, well thought out roadmap, because CM Punk and Seth Rollins, that's the big thing on Monday night. John Cena can do whatever he wants. He's a Friday Night SmackDown guy, being that he's holding the WWE Championship. That championship belongs to Friday night. Tonight he's on Raw. So I do get the questions and I do get the hesitation from people watching the show. Well, what about CM Punk and Seth Rollins? Where does that now take place? Where do they go with that? Why isn't CM Punk getting involved with Seth Rollins' business? Why is he just allowing Mr. Money in the Bank to roam around freely, doing whatever he wants? Why didn't he show up last night? Or on Saturday, rather, at Money in the Bank? Beats me. A lot of people were wondering where CM Punk and Roman Reigns were. We didn't get either one of them. Everybody thought that there would be a cash-in tonight. Rollins is going to cash in on Heat Man. Rollins is going to walk out the new WWE World Heavyweight Champion. Some people thought that there would be a cash-in and Punk or Reigns, or both of them, would show up and stop the cash-in. We didn't get any of that. We didn't get any of that. Rollins barely made an appearance tonight. He showed up to make his presence known, which was very weird. At the end of the John Cena CM Punk segment, his music played, he showed up, he watched, he stood there for like 15 seconds, and then we go to a commercial, only to come back to Chad Gable and AJ Styles, and he only had one backstage segment. Rollins was a non-entity on this show. It's almost that they wanted you to forget he won it. They didn't even want you to see or hear from Seth Rollins tonight. You would think he'd be all over this fucking show, being that he made such a big deal about having the control and having the power. He didn't do anything. Hopefully there's a roadmap back to that, because I do understand that that doesn't make any sense. Punk and Cena. It is now official. For the first time in how many years, chat? What, 11 years? 10 years? For the first time since Elimination Chamber, and the first time in 10 years, these two men will be going one-on-one for the WWE Championship, June 28th, at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. I know. Listen, man, if you did a double take, or if you're driving, I get it. If you're driving now and you're looking at the road or whatever, the hot lady crossing the street, the old woman carrying her groceries across the street, if you're looking anywhere and you're listening to me and your jaw dropped or you did a, what? Did this guy make a mistake live? No. No, that's exactly what they announced tonight, man. It is John Cena and CM Punk at Night of Champions for the WWE Championship in Saudi Arabia. Let the CM Punk sold-out chants, memes, tweets begin. I get it. I'm sure Jesse's gonna have a fucking field day with this woman. He's already probably got 2 videos in the can about this particular incident. Do I like it? No, I don't. I don't. Do I hate it? No, I don't. Do I wish that this match would take place on a bigger stage? Yes, I do. SummerSlam being that big stage. But clearly WWE has other plans, because Cody Rhodes is in the King of the Ring tournament on the SmackDown side, and I don't really see anybody but Cody Rhodes winning the King of the Ring tournament. He's got to get back to John Cena somehow. That's the best way to do it. If they really want to make Night of Champions special, they'd have Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton in the main event. Or not the main event, not the main event, but the finals of the King of the Ring tournament. That would be great. I understand why WWE is doing this now. I'm sure they got other plans for SummerSlam. I'm sure Triple H has thought this out and has got his top matches already in the can for SummerSlam.
Imagine this. You worked years on
Hold on, there's a commercial.
Already in the as possibly. I know the memes are going to be never-ending, and I know the sickos and the AEW fan base are going to have a field day with this one, I'm sure. I don't like it either. I think he went back on his word, and that's kind of disappointing. It will be disappointing to a lot of people. CM Punk did say, and listen, nothing I say here is me advocating for CM Punk and brushing it under the rug. I don't like it. I wish he would have kept his word on that. But it's a business at the end of the day, and WWE is his boss, Nick Khan, and everybody else at TKO are his bosses. He has to do what they say. He has to be where they need him. I wish as a person, because I know he wears his heart on his sleeve, I wish as a human being he would have kept his word. I really wish he would have put his foot down and said, I have to stay true to this. I can't do it. I can't go back on my word. I'm letting too many people down. A lot of people thought he'd be letting a lot of people down by leaving AEW and just walking right into WWE the way that he did, and seemingly nobody seems to give a shit about that anymore. Nobody's talking about that anymore. Oh, he's a hypocrite. Oh, he just made fun of a 4-night buy one get one free extravaganza. Yet this year he main evented night one in one of the best triple threat matches of all time against Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. Seemingly nobody's talking about that anymore, and the only people that are talking about that are the fucking fat slob virgins who make up the AEW sicko fan base. Those are the only people that are talking about it. Us normal human beings have moved on. We're happy he's back, he's home, he's done some of the best work of his career, and we're just moving forward, and we're looking forward to him winning the World Championship at some point. Nobody's talking about those moments. Nobody's talking about that anymore. It was a topic for a week or two, and then it died. Do I wish he kept his word on that? Sure. Because I know how emotional and how real he is as a human being. He wears his heart on his sleeve. He did say, when he came back to WWE, that he's here to make money and not friends. He's here to make money and win championships. So you could go back to his first or second promo where he said that when he came back to the WWE after 10 years, and he's basically doing exactly what he said in that first or second promo. He's here to make money and not friends. He's going to Saudi Arabia to make more money in one match than he has in his entire run in WWE so far. So I guess you could calculate that and chalk that up to being somewhat true, going back on what he said. Again, I'm not making excuses. I'm just giving you what he said. At some point, CM Punk was going to have to work Saudi Arabia. You know it, I know it, everybody knows it. It's just the way of the business. You can't have a Royal Rumble in Saudi Arabia and not have CM Punk a part of the Royal Rumble, whether it's in a match or in the Rumble match itself. It's fucking ridiculous. It is ridiculous. And unfortunately, come January next year, or whenever it is, January, I don't know if they're running a February Rumble next year, whenever the Rumble takes place, unfortunately, the Rumble is going to be emanating from Saudi Arabia. You can't have a Royal Rumble without... If you're WWE, you can't have a Royal Rumble without CM Punk. You and I also know that at some point in the next 2 or 3 years, WWE is going to be paid so much money that they're going to be pissing green, because WrestleMania will probably be going to Saudi Arabia. Are you going to have a WrestleMania without CM Punk? I find that to be fucking ridiculous, bro. I really do. Unfortunately, this is the business that WWE has chosen to be a part of. CM Punk cannot help that. He could say no, but what do you think Nick Khan is going to tell him if they need him at WrestleMania? And they need him in the Royal Rumble? Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nick. I can't go. I said something about The Miz sucking a blood-covered monkey dick or something like that. Something or another. CM Punk wanted the match. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm stuck. And it was probably one of the best things that he's done in this World Championship run so far as a heel. This is why I think the way that John Cena used it, you can sit there and blast CM Punk all you want, and call him a hypocrite all you want, and call him a fucking sellout all you want. The way John Cena used this as ammunition was probably the most heel thing he's done since he turned on Cody Rhodes and sold his soul to The Rock, if that was still the plan there at the Elimination Chamber. This was the most heel thing he's done in this entire run so far since the Elimination Chamber. CM Punk wanted the match tonight in Phoenix. John Cena acted excited, said, "Yeah, let's do it." No, I don't think so. Yeah, not tonight. If you want a shot at my WWE Championship, you're gonna do it when I say, when I want, and when I say, and what I want is on June 28th at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia. The way that he said it, knowing exactly what CM Punk had stated before about the talent going over and working in Saudi Arabia, the way that John Cena came off, the way he said it to CM Punk, was the best heel thing that he's done so far since his turn at the Elimination Chamber. It was fucking brilliant. No, I'm not giving you your match tonight. I want the match, because we make magic together. It's great. You're exactly what I want. I'm not going to do the match here in Phoenix, but I'm going to have you fly all the way across the fucking Atlantic, and I'm going to have you travel to the one place I know you don't want to go, to meet me for this title in Saudi Arabia. It's great. It was absolutely great. So I'm taking the pros and the cons here. Their face-to-face was great. I'm looking forward to more of it in the next 3 weeks. Does CM Punk deserve a championship opportunity? At this point, we don't give a shit. We just want John Cena and his world title run to feel substantial. We want it to feel important. As of right now, it hasn't felt important. And it's been largely awful. The first time that I actually feel excited about John Cena holding the WWE Championship. And I know we're 6 months into his final year, and that means we don't have much longer as him holding the WWE Championship, which is great. It's not going to Punk. It's going to go right back to Cody. Punk is not winning the championship in Saudi Arabia. He's not going to be the world champion yet. I hope so, but not yet. We'll definitely talk about that. King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring. They started tonight. I was a little skeptical about the Fatal 4-Way matches in this tournament. I am very much an old school head. A one-on-one single elimination tournament with 16 or so people. I would love to see that take place across WWE on Raw and SmackDown. But being that we have Night of Champions and WWE needs to build a card for Night of Champions, and they have 3 weeks to build said card for Night of Champions, they are putting everybody that they got in the tournament, and the first round matches across both the men's and women's division are going to be Fatal 4-Way matches, which 2 of them took place tonight, and we had 2 very good Fatal 4-Way matches, the men's being better than the women's tonight. And we're going to go over those brackets, because there's a couple of great scenarios to see play out. And we're going to talk about those tonight. R-Truth is no longer R-Truth. He's Ron Killings. And being that I haven't mentioned it yet because there's so much other shit happening on this show, the Yeet Man is no longer the World Heavyweight Champion. He lost the title clean as a whistle to Gunther, as he is now a 2-time World Heavyweight Champion. And this more than likely sets up Goldberg versus Gunther, July 12th, at Saturday night's main event for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in Goldberg's final match ever. I don't think it needed to be a title match. Seemingly every time Goldberg comes back, there's a title match attached to it. I don't know why. But hopefully we get a situation where he does not win the championship and he does not go out on top, which would be fucking awful. So that's what WWE more than likely...
Skip the workout and work it out.
Hold on. It's a commercial.
Yummy's been serving up
Hold on.
shapewear for over a decade.
Alright.
Very good Monday Night Raw. Probably the best Raw in months on Netflix. And we are going to talk about it right here on Off the Script. We got 4,000 people in here. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for hanging out with me on this Monday night. It's going to be a big week. It's going to be a big week, man. Tonight we're live. Tomorrow night we're live. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow on Tuesday night. A complete shoot. He was let go. Everybody claiming it was a work. Nick Khan had to step in and talk to Truth about coming back. And even then Truth was hesitant on even listening to him and WWE because of the way that they let him go. And the report said it was a meeting in the middle. He got to come back, get one final send-off the way that he wants, not be a comedy guy, and come back as Ron Killings. There you go. So those chants did accomplish something. He said the fans were all keyboard warriors and armchair activists who did not have the power to change anything.
Hold on.
That Indian audience on Instagram, though, man.
There's Weezy Blonde.
You missed the gold, Weezy?
We also got Dro Dominion, Travis the Gaming Snorlax, aka Travis Cunningham. He says we're getting Gunther versus Ilya, right? Probably. We'll have to see.
Mr. Iguana could be the mystery man in...
We cash in on CM Punk. I mean, that would be a very funny thing for him to do if he cashed in on CM Punk after finally winning the title.
You know, every single corner of the business, wrestlers, Ron Killings family, agents, people in the biz, podcasters, journalists, everything you are hearing is not a work. There's only one specific, very specific, smelly, friendless contingent of wrestling fans that hate wrestling media, that hate journalists, and probably hate AEW too. They all kind of encompass the same, sewer. They are the ones that are insisting, and that's just weird to me, right here in this country.
Roxanne winning was the right call. I think she was absolutely the right pick here. I've been very impressed by Roxanne Perez. It's not like I didn't see her in NXT. I mean, she was impressive there as well. She had a long title run. But since being involved in main roster activity, she didn't really get her official call-up until a few weeks ago. But she was in the Royal Rumble. I think she set the time record for the Women's Rumble this year. She was in there.
Ending his final boss, he mentioned at one point here, which I'll get to. He was defending the people. He was defending the people. Maybe Cena was mad that the establishment picked him while the people did not pick Cena. The people picked Punk in 2011 to be their voice for the voiceless. Punk said Cena was wrong, claiming he hadn't faced the best. Cody Rhodes is the best that we got. That was met with boos. Some boos. A mixture of boos and cheers. Is Cody Rhodes the best they got? I don't know if he's the best that they got, but he's certainly the most popular, and he is the guy. But Cena only won because he took cheap shots. Punk wasn't about to kiss the ass of his final boss because the people were Punk's boss. It was Punk's job to give the people what they wanted, and if they wanted the truth, they would get Ron Killings. It was time for Punk to teach Cena that it was only a spoke on the wheel. Again, Punk recalled Cena saying he was sorry after pinning Punk at the Elimination Chamber after Rollins stomped him. Cena knew then what he did wrong.
Hold on.
Out, you sold out. Punk said Cena would spend the rest of his dates apologizing to the people for his actions. The title corrupted him. Punk knew it was because it did the same to him in 2012. Punk had a list of goals when he returned, but winning the title was not one of them because he was afraid of what he would become if he did win it. Now, I'm sure there are some people on social media who are already claiming and picking apart this one line. Well, Punk said he was here to make money and not make friends. But he mentioned that one of the goals he had when he returned was not to win the World Championship. Meanwhile, he competed in the Royal Rumble. He competed in the Elimination Chamber. Sure. That was in the first year that he came back. He was in the Rumble, he got hurt. He wasn't a part of the Elimination Chamber in that first year. This year, his priorities changed. This year, he had a goal. The ghost of Drew McIntyre was no more. Drew McIntyre was following him wherever he went. He was in Chicago, McIntyre was there. He followed McIntyre all the way to Scotland, then fucked him over at Clash at the Castle. It wasn't about the World Championship. It was about revenge. So yes, he's partially correct. It wasn't about championships. How could it be about championships when the fucking one guy that took him out basically went on a crusade claiming that he did the best thing that anybody could do in the WWE, and that was eradicate CM Punk. Of course Punk was going to come back and fuck that person up. It was never about championship. It was about getting McIntyre back and vanquishing McIntyre. Then he would move on to the WWE or World Heavyweight Championship. And at that same time, he also had Rollins looming. And also he wanted to main event WrestleMania. He wanted a lot of things. He wanted a lot of things first before the World Championship. And he got everything that he wanted. Now the WWE Championship is the only thing left for him. Would it be great that he wins the WWE Championship in the main event of WrestleMania? Sure. But he got his main event, and it was fucking great. Now the WWE Championship is the only thing eluding him, and eventually he's going to end up getting that too. But right now is not that time. So for all the people claiming that CM Punk, well, why did he put himself in the Royal Rumble? Why did he go into the Elimination Chamber? Why did he compete in these matches if winning the championship was not a goal? It wasn't. Now it is. People's priorities and people's goals change. He had a list of things to do first. Now the next thing on his list is win the WWE Championship. It's not that difficult to figure out. You don't need to pick apart everything CM Punk says. He's one of the best storytellers in the fucking business. Maybe ever. He knows what he's doing. Everybody should want to be the champion, and only if you can accomplish it. Punk could now see the had to become a monster to defeat the monster. People like Cena and Rollins, the belt meant power and control, but Punk thought it belonged to the people. Punk said Cena had 18 dates left after tonight, and he would leave it up to Cena to pick the date that Punk takes the belt from him. Punk challenged him to do it tonight. Cena said, let's do it! But not tonight. Everybody cheered. There was a small part of me that thought we were getting it tonight, because I didn't really think Punk was going to go to Saudi Arabia. I didn't even put it in the back of my mind that that was even a realistic option for WWE. I thought Punk would remain true to his word. Cena said Punk could follow him to Saudi Arabia so that they could do it at Night of Champions. Punk, off mic, said, you're on. Rollins comes out to his theme music. He shows off the Money in the Bank briefcase, and the segment ended. Rollins did not get in the ring with Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. He did not get in the ring at all with his group. His music played. He held up the briefcase. It was basically foreshadowing something that could possibly happen in Saudi Arabia. And then we go into a commercial break. We come back from the break. Rollins says, no, I thought Rollins would be in the ring. I thought we were getting a Rollins promo. I thought we'd get a face-to-face with Rollins and CM Punk, or Rollins, Punk, and Cena. That was it. We go right into the first match, and that's AJ Styles and Chad Gable, one-on-one. CM Punk is not winning the WWE Championship from John Cena. I'm pretty certain that is not going to happen. Seth Rollins has the briefcase, and he's going to disrupt several different aspects of WWE.
A highly contested.
It seemingly looks like WWE is going in a different direction.
We know the stakes.
What does Rollins want? Does he want the World Heavyweight Championship? Does he want the WWE Championship? Does Rollins even cash it in successfully at this point? I don't fucking know. I don't. Because we were led to believe that Rollins was going after the World Heavyweight Championship, and the fact that Jey Uso held the World Heavyweight Championship, that was his top priority. I don't even know what the rules of the briefcase are. Could Rollins challenge for the WWE Championship? It's not brand specific. He doesn't have to go after the World Heavyweight Championship, correct? He could very much go after the WWE title if he wanted. I believe that's the new ruling, or has been the ruling. I know at one point or another it was, you win the briefcase, you got to cash in on the show that you're on. I don't think Rollins even cashes in successfully if it's Punk or Cena. I don't think that happens. I do think that we have this huge, gaping fucking logic gap called Roman Reigns, who hasn't been on television since WrestleMania. Where's he? He doesn't want anything to do with Seth Rollins. If there's one thing that's going to happen, I could see Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns taking place at SummerSlam. We got 2 nights. We got 2 nights. Rollins and Reigns at SummerSlam. Roman Reigns is not a part of a brand. He can do whatever he wants. I don't think Cena is dropping the title to Punk. I very much believe Cody's going to win the King of the Ring. I very much believe Cody's going to go to SummerSlam because the winner of the King of the Ring gets a title shot at SummerSlam. And I do think that Cody's getting his rematch with John Cena at SummerSlam on night 2 to win back the WWE title. I know that. I'm pretty confident in that happening. We're more than likely getting Cena-Cody too. Now, I thought we could possibly get that at Saturday night's main event. Clearly, that's not going to happen. Because if Cody wins, he's going to SummerSlam. I don't really see anybody else in that tournament winning outright. Cody's the one guy that sticks out like a sore thumb. CM Punk's not going to win. Seth Rollins could easily cash in, win the title, disrupt the system. I just don't see that happening. That title is Cena's, and that title is Cena's to lose back to Cody. That's the way it's going to be. So if he cashes in on Cena or Punk, Roman Reigns will absolutely be involved. R-Truth could be involved. There are other avenues for Seth Rollins to go and do that as well. And we might as well talk about it now, because the way Triple H set up these King and Queen of the Ring tournaments is pretty fucking interesting, man. It really is interesting. By the way, Karrion Kross is not in the tournament as of right now, which is unbelievable to me. How you got 4, 8, 12, 16 guys, and Karrion Kross is not one of the field of 16. Karrion Kross is going to be another R-Truth situation, and it's not going to be pretty for WWE. We had one match tonight. We'll talk about it later, but I'm going to talk about it now. Sami Zayn, Penta, Braun Breaker, and Rey Mysterio. That was the men's match tonight. Sami Zayn advances. Sami Zayn advances to the semifinals. I'm assuming that's going to be taking place next week. On the same side of the bracket, it's a SmackDown Fatal 4-Way. Randy Orton, LA Knight, Malachi Black, and Carmelo Hayes. Now, I don't think LA Knight's going on to the semifinals. I don't. I think you fuck with me, we're gonna fuck with you type of deal. LA Knight got involved with Braun Breaker. So I'm assuming that Rollins' boys are gonna show up on Friday night and they're gonna fuck over LA Knight. So LA Knight ain't advancing in the King of the Ring tournament. Malachi Black ain't winning it. And Carmelo Hayes ain't winning it. That's Randy Orton's match to win. Now that's very interesting, because then you got Sami Zayn and Randy Orton one-on-one in a Raw versus SmackDown match, which is great. That should be a banger. That's what I'm going with on the left side of the tournament. On the right side, we have Cody Rhodes, Damian Priest, Andrade, and Shinsuke Nakamura. I mean, by the looks of that, it's way too predictable. Cody Rhodes is going to be in the semifinals. Cody Rhodes is going to be in the semifinals on SmackDown. This is where it gets interesting. On the Raw side, on the right side of the tournament, we have Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and a mystery competitor. Now, I don't know who the mystery competitor is. Nobody knows who the mystery competitor is. People are making speculative comments, and they're talking about who they think it is on social media. A lot of people are mentioning Ilya Dragunov.
Haven't tried new Parmesan stuffed crust? Sign
Oh, come on now.
Domino's Rewards to get one for 50% off.
Hey, alright, come on.
I don't. This is why I said earlier, it's just tailor-made for a Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes final. I mean, it's... And that would be SmackDown versus SmackDown, because Orton's on SmackDown and Cody Rhodes is on SmackDown. I just feel like it's tailor-made for a Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton final at Night of Champions. What if Sami Zayn won the King of the Ring tournament? King of the Ring tournament finals are taking place in Saudi Arabia. You would think WWE would want Sami Zayn in the finals, being that everybody loves him over in Saudi Arabia. That would be something. This is where one of the sidetracks takes you to an interesting option in this tournament, especially if you're Seth Rollins, holding the briefcase. Now, say Randy Orton doesn't win. Say Randy Orton doesn't win. Say Carmelo Hayes wins. It's not really an exciting choice. But say Carmelo Hayes wins, and it's not Randy Orton. Or say Malachi Black wins, and we get Malachi versus Sammy, or Carmelo versus Sammy. That would pretty much make it an easy choice for Sammy to go to the final. Sammy and Cody. Sammy and Cody in the final. I could see that. What if Sammy wins the King of the Ring? What if Sammy wins the King of the Ring and challenges Gunther for the World's Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam? That could be a great night one main event. Sounds like a great night one main event if you ask me. What if we get Sami Zayn and Gunther in the night one SummerSlam main event at MetLife Stadium, and then that's where Seth Rollins cashes in and fucks Sami Zayn over.
Yeah.
Maybe he wins the title from Gunther. Maybe he beats Gunther again. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he steals that away from Sami right at the end. Makes it a triple threat match like he did at WrestleMania when he won his first Money in the Bank and cashed in on Lesnar and Reigns. And then he pins Sami. Protecting Gunther in the process, and Seth Rollins beats Sami Zayn to win the World's Heavyweight Championship. And Seth Rollins is the World's Heavyweight Champion. We fast forward 6 months later to the Royal Rumble in Saudi. Sami Zayn wins the Royal Rumble in Saudi. He gets his revenge on Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. And Sami Zayn beats Seth Rollins back for the World's Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania in Las Vegas. That's a realistic road. That is a realistic road. But the thing that's throwing me off is Cody Rhodes in this tournament. That's what's throwing me off. If Cody wasn't in this tournament, I'd say all guns blazing on that one, man. Full steam ahead to New Jersey. Sami Zayn wins the King of the Ring. Sami in Saudi, Sami King in Saudi. I love it. It just feels good. But then you got Cody. If Cody loses this tournament, how does he get to John Cena? He'd almost realistically have to get fucked over. He'd have to get screwed and guaranteed another shot at the World's Heavyweight Championship, at the WWE title. Now, he owns a pin over John Cena. He pinned John Cena at Money in the Bank. Is that not enough to warrant him a World Championship opportunity against John Cena at SummerSlam? No. Probably not. SummerSlam's in August. August 2nd, August 3rd. We're going to go back to June 7th at Money in the Bank and take whatever happened there and apply it to why Cody Rhodes gets a title match against John Cena at SummerSlam? No. There's a lot of time in between, and anything can happen between Money in the Bank and SummerSlam for something else to happen, for something else to come along. We're not just going to wait on Cody Rhodes because he pinned John Cena on June 7th. It's a little far-fetched. There's nobody else in this tournament. That makes sense. It's either Cody or it's either Sami, and that's it. That's it. But WWE has disguised it in a way where it does seem a little unpredictable. Because then you got the Randy Orton aspect on the left side of the tournament. I just can't see, unless they do Sami and Seth. Unless they do Sami and Seth at Night of Champions. I don't know what Sami would be doing at Night of Champions if he doesn't win this tournament. Seth Rollins is an option. It's just tailor-made for an Orton and Cody Rhodes final. Maybe that's what kickstarts the Randy Orton heel turn. Maybe that's just phase one. Cody would beat Randy. Something happens there. Cody goes on to wrestle John Cena and win. So those are the options there. Now the mystery guy, I'm sure a lot of people are hoping for Karrion Kross being the mystery guy. If it's Dragunov, I mean, listen, bro. If you're going to give me Sheamus, Rusev, Bronson Reed, and Dragunov in the same match, I mean, just inject that shit in my veins, bro. Really. I mean, you got four of the baddest motherfuckers in the entire company in one match, man. Holy fuck. What a match that would be, bro. But then Dragunov's coming back, and you're going to have him in a match where he's not going to win. Who would win it? Cody Rhodes wins his match. Who does he wrestle coming out of that match? Does he wrestle Bronson Reed? I can see that being Bronson Reed's match to win. But then you got the LA Knight situation. He already threw up 3 fingers, meaning he took out Braun Breaker tonight, so he's got 2 left. He's obviously targeting Reed next, and he's going to target Seth Rollins after that. So LA Knight is going after Rollins and his boys. LA Knight could be the thorn in Rollins' side that he doesn't want. Because Bronson Reed, at first glance, is a shoo-in. But then you look at everybody else. Sheamus, I can see Sheamus winning it. Sheamus and Cody? I'll take that. Cody and Rusev. I'll take that too. And you got Cody and Cross or Cody and Dragunov. Again, Cody's in the tournament and it's fucking everything up. Because imagine it is Dragunov. And Cody doesn't find himself in the finals. Imagine it is Dragunov. And Triple H has the vision of Dragunov coming back, winning his opening round match, going to the semifinals, and going to the finals. Another road that we could take into SummerSlam would be Dragunov and Gunther. Imagine it is Ilya Dragunov coming back. Dragunov wins the tournament, and we get Dragunov versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship, night 1 of SummerSlam. I don't know if that's going to be the plan. I don't know if that's the option that they may land on. But I know a lot of people are thinking it could be Dragunov. If Dragunov and Gunther is the plan for SummerSlam, again, I have no problem with that. I just find it a little hard to think that's the plan when you got Cody, you got Sammy, and you got Randy. I don't know. I think we could wait on Gunther and Dragunov. That may be the next guy that Gunther loses the championship to. Out of all the options that we came up with, JD not acknowledging Mr. Iguana as an option. It could be. I mean, maybe they throw Mr. Iguana in there. I have no fucking idea. It could be Dragunov. Out of all the options that I went over, honestly, Cody winning is just way too predictable. But a Cody-Randy final would be great. That would be awesome. But we all know they're going back to Cody and Cena. Could they have something up their sleeve where Cody doesn't win the tournament, but gets a championship match at SummerSlam? I don't know. Maybe that happens at Saturday night's main event. Maybe something happens there that gets Cody the championship match at SummerSlam. In Atlanta. Something big happens in Atlanta where Cody lives. I like the Sammy option, bro. I like the Sammy option. Fightful is saying it's Logan Paul. Logan Paul in there with those guys? No. I don't want it to be Logan Paul. Why would it be Logan Paul? Out of all the options that I just mentioned, I like Sami Zayn. I do. Sami Zayn going on to SummerSlam to wrestle Gunther only for Rollins to cash in. I like it. I do. But then again, like I mentioned, we talked about Rollins. He already showed face during Cena and Punk's promo. At least WWE made it a little unpredictable. Could the mystery man be Roman? Chat saying no. No, I don't think Roman is the mystery guy. That would just make it a Roman Cody semifinal. That would throw things really into the unpredictable realm. No, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't want it to be Logan Paul. Logan Paul screws Cody? Could be. Could be a situation where we get Logan Paul screwing Cody Rhodes. Maybe that's the end. Maybe we get Cody and Logan Paul at Saturday night's main event, and if he beats Logan Paul, he goes on to SummerSlam to wrestle John Cena, being that Logan Paul has been linked to John Cena. I don't know. But the King of the Ring tournament so far for the men, I'm excited to see it play out, and it got started the right way tonight. We'll go over the women's bracket because that's exactly what we got tonight. But we'll go through this one very quickly.
Isn't it the worst when you lose your needle?
Damn it, another goddamn commercial. So, very sorry about that.
Because that's in the men's ladder match at Money in the Bank. The Vikingo match was incredible, and if you guys missed it, you should definitely go check that out. This one went 7 minutes, like I said. We got a commercial break, 90 seconds in. Commercial break lasted 3 minutes. We got about 3.5 minutes of in-ring action between AJ and Chad Gable. It's basically all she wrote. AJ Styles wins. He gets back into the win column. There was an interference spot by the Creeds. Multiple Gable ankle locks. And AJ Styles hits the Styles Clash for the 1-2-3. Chad Gable seemingly cannot win. As his human self, he has to transform into El Grande Americano to get into the win column. That's basically all she wrote here. This was used as a way to get AJ Styles back into the win column. I expected a lot more out of this. It only went 7 minutes. Nothing really major to talk about. Backstage, Roxanne Perez suggested to Liv Morgan that they work together to ensure one of them wins. Liv Morgan does not want anything to do with Roxanne. She's not on board. And Roxanne said, okay, may the best woman win. And she went to go shake Liv Morgan's hand, and Liv Morgan told her, oh, I will. It's great. Gotta love Liv Morgan. Feisty Liv Morgan, bro. Feisty Liv Morgan. Queen of the Ring, first round, fatal four-way. This was very good. Rhea Ripley, Kairi Sane, Roxanne Perez, and Liv Morgan in the opening round. WWE did a very good job of keeping Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez separated. They worked together up until the end, where Roxanne was very sneaky. The way you gotta win these things, man. You gotta play smart. And Roxanne did just that. Morgan ended up working with Roxanne very reluctantly, but she ended up working with her. They set up for a double superplex on Kairi Sane, and Rhea got underneath them, and she comes down with a double powerbomb. But Kairi held on. She did not come off the top rope in the powerbomb spot. She just stood there on the top rope. So Sane followed up with a flying forearm to Rhea Ripley, and she goes for a cover off the top rope and only gets a 2 count. Morgan and Perez worked together. They were in control of this match because they tried to take out Rhea Ripley while also isolating Kairi Sane. Morgan hit Sane with a backstabber, and Rhea Ripley fired up and laid out everyone. Now, she did the backstabber, and Michael Cole did mention that it was paying homage to Carlito. So Carlito was mentioned here on commentary. Rhea Ripley fired up, laid everyone out. Morgan tried to catch her off guard with an oblivion. But Rhea Ripley had that one scouted, man. She caught her and hit a riptide. Rhea was obviously too close to the ropes off the riptide. So as the referee was making his 3 count, right before the 3 count, Raquel Rodriguez pulls Rhea Ripley out from outside, underneath the bottom rope. As Ripley and Rodriguez started brawling, Kairi Sane wiped them out with an insane elbow off the top rope. Sane followed with an insane elbow back in the ring on Liv Morgan, and she had the match won. So she got knocked out by the elbow. But Roxanne Perez all of a sudden floats over and catches Kairi in a jackknife cover while Liv Morgan is knocked out Roxanne Perez is going on to the semifinals in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Now, I know a lot of people are claiming that Rhea Ripley is Rhea Hogan all of a sudden. I don't know where this narrative's coming from. The last few outings on social media that I've had to interject with while talking about Rhea Ripley. Oh, Rhea Hogan. Rhea is just like Hulk Hogan. Rhea doesn't put anybody over. Rhea is always in a championship opportunity, and all this narrative about Rhea Ripley. I don't know, man. Every time I see her, she's always giving an opportunity to this one and losing this one, and she hasn't really been close to the championship since she lost it outside the WrestleMania match. I didn't really get a sense or a feeling that Rhea Ripley's going right back into the championship picture. She's there, and she will be there. She is the biggest female name in the company. She's the most open.
I'm gonna end the video. I think I made this long enough. I don't make it too long. It's almost 2 hours. Until that time, thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support. Hit that like button. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to my channel. I will do AEW Dynamite. I will do SmackDown live stream this Friday. Until next time, I'll see y'all later. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the support.